Hi everyone, this is a little bit different to my usual videos, but I've got some interesting information for you here. So a few weeks ago I came across an amazing gentleman on Facebook called Martin Ansell, that's Ansell. Martin has been writing some amazing articles with lots of really good information that everybody should know. I've been following his work now since I came across him. I've read all his articles that he's written. And boy, you really need to go find him and read his work. Now, obviously I've been sharing it. Some of you might have seen it, some of you might not. The way he writes his articles is really good because they're straight to the point. He doesn't waffle on. It makes it nice and easy for everyone to read, nice and easy for people to understand. Yeah, so that's great. But I was thinking to myself that, it'd be great if he put them out on YouTube as well. And just so happened that Martin had also put a post up sort of saying the same thing. So anyway, I had a chat with him and he's quite happy for me to read his articles out as well. I'm not going to read it in full. I've sort of narrowed down, the key points of this article that I'm going to read tonight. This is the Strawman. So anyway, here goes. So, in God's eyes, all men are equal. But in 1302, the Pope, believing he had higher authority than God, claimed the whole world, including all the people and their possessions, for himself, in trust for the return of the Messiah. Now, he didn't really believe that the Messiah was going to return. The reason he did this was so that he could become unbelievably wealthy. Now, how was he going to become unbelievably wealthy by just claiming that everyone and everything were his? It's not that straightforward, is it? You can't just say, "Oh, this is mine." Well, according to the Bible, man has dominion over the earth, which literally that means man has controlling power, or effectively owns the earth and all its mineral resources. So the Pope came up with an individual value for each person or individual. So the Pope simply divided the worth of the earth and its natural resources by each person. So, for example, if you've got a country and it's worth 50 trillion and you've got a population of 5 million, you divide 50 trillion by 5 million and you get 10 million. So each person is worth 10 million. So this is why birth certificates were created. Bear with me here. So, when you're born, medical staff clean everything up, take everything away, as well as tidying the placenta, etc. Excuse me. You have to have your birth certificate to identify every individual, remember, because the Pope has given everybody a worth. Remember that, okay? So you get your nurse, your staff on the wards, whatever, or, back in time you always had your midwives, didn't you? So they clean everything up, take the placenta, and then a few days or a week or so later, your parents go to the registry office and register the birth, and your birth certificate is issued. However, at this point, there's some official dishonesty. On the official register, your name is registered as a dead person. Now, your parents certainly didn't register you as a dead person, did they? You're a living, breathing human being. So how can it be that it's entered as a dead person? Well, the dead person on the register is your monster in legal terms, historically known as your evil twin, and now often referred to as your strawman. And so what is it? What is this strawman, evil twin, monster? When it was birthed, it was alive, it was warm, but died soon after. You catching my drift? By the time your parents register your birth, it's definitely dead. I am, of course, referring to the placenta, to the afterbirth. As awful as this all is, what is the actual point of doing this? Well, remember what I said about the man owning the earth? Well, technically, it's your monster or your straw man that owns the assets, that owns the minerals, that owns your share of the earth. But as I said, it died, and those assets then get left with the administrator of a trust. The administrator, of course, of the trust just happens to be the Vatican or the Crown. Now, if you go to Martin's Facebook page, you'll be able to read the full document. And you'll see where this takes you, because he's also written a document about the trusts and about the Crown. But it is actually possible to correct the record and return from the dead. Potentially, you have assets worth a great deal of money. Now, I have a friend who looked it up. There is a way to do it. I don't know how to do this, but there is a way to find out how to do it. And she had countless companies registered to her. She had thousands of pounds owed to her. I'll just find something off the document. The document's not very long. It's only 3 sides of A4. And as I say, the way Martin writes them, you can see they're only a couple of lines per, short sentences, nice and easy to read. I'll just read a little bit more from the actual document. Now, it is possible to correct the record and return from the dead. It's put in brackets. I'm working on that, so if anyone can help, I'm all ears. Although whether it will be necessary when this explanation goes across the globe, I doubt it. This then collapses the trust, and you once again own the assets. However, the assets are in the ground, just where they always were, so you can't expect to get the millions that your trust was traded for, because that's what they do. They actually trade against your birth certificate. Now, some people are aware of this, but they don't fully know how it works, where it came from, how it were all done. This is why you need to sort of read all of his documents, because there's a lot of stuff going around at the moment about common law, maritime law. One of the documents that Martin's written actually clarifies that. Yeah, you won't get the millions that your trust was traded for, but you won't have to pay anything ever again while the current system lasts. By exposing the error and proving that you are not dead, this changes your status in the courts from a debtor to a creditor. As a creditor, you are effectively worth millions in assets, and it is on the worth of these assets that money is created. The money is created in your name on the back of your assets, and when you sign for a mortgage or credit card or utility service or anything. So you see, you never have to repay anything. That would be mad if your assets created the money in the first place. I keep telling people that Nasara Jisara is here if only they would stop paying. Now, some of you may have heard of Nasara and Jisara. That's another explanation for another day. That needs another video for itself. I wanted to just keep this short because I wanted to get your attention. Now, as I say, you need to go to Martin's Facebook page and you need to read the full document for yourself. There's another 10 articles, documents that is written, and I will be back another day and hopefully read some more for you. So I hope that's got your attention, as I say. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye-bye.